Hey there everyone, welcome back to XSP Green Monster channel, filming this one right after last video put out, which is my review of the DCIO level 5 18s. And today I'm going to be showing you how to prep a subwoofer for a Recone. So this is pretty simple. What you're going to need is some kind of flathead screwdriver, a hammer, and you will need some tape as well. And if you can get your hands on it, a Dremel or some sort of drill attachment that has a Dremel bit that's meant for grinding on it. I luckily had a friend who had one of these and let me borrow it. So I'm just going to get started on this. It's going to be hopefully not too hard. The worst part is just going to be getting off all of the surround material on this, but other than that, it shouldn't be too bad to prep this subwoofer. Surround glue comes up, rubber glue comes up pretty easily. It's just the CA glue that can be a bit of a pain in the ass to get off subwoofer. So let's get into it. The first thing, before you do anything else that you're going to want to do, is you're going to want right there, the whole area where your coil sits down, and usually you want to clean this out beforehand. I'm not going to, since I'm about to do all of this. And if you're going to do all of this, I don't really see a point in really thoroughly cleaning out this gap, because you're going to get stuff in it anyways. So just thoroughly clean it after you get the subwoofer completely cleaned. But what you want to do is take strips of tape, and you want to completely cover the entire section of the sub over your coil gap. And this is important to stop any pieces of metal that you are going to knock off. Even though it is an aluminum basket, and aluminum is non-metallic, or not non-metallic, is non-magnetic. You want to keep as much dirt out of your coil gap as possible, because having pieces of stuff in there can destroy your coil and can actually end up in you blowing a subwoofer. So it is very important to have this well taped over, and you really want to make sure that you have every gap on that taped over, kind of like so. If you can see it there, you can see there's no place for anything to fall into there. Then you also want to tip the subwoofer over, and you want to tape over the holes on the bottom of the sub as well. So I'm just going to quickly do that. Alright, now that all the holes into your structure are taped off, you can start removing your surround. So I found that the best way is, sometimes you can kind of peel it up with your thumb like I'm doing right here, and once you get it, you can kind of just peel up the whatever's left of the edge of your surround. Alright, so yeah, like you can see there, I got most of it off in one piece. And then after that, this is where the flathead's going to come in. So any pieces that are left on there, just get the flathead underneath and just kind of pry it up slowly to where you can get a grip on it. And you can usually just pull it off of there. Remember not to have your hand in front of the drill, in front of the screwdriver when you're doing that, because if it slips, like right here, if I was pressing right here and slipped, you could stab yourself in the finger. So just be mindful of that while you're doing it. I've done it too many times. And just kind of scrape anywhere where there's anything left on the basket. You don't have to worry too much about hurting the coating on the basket, since you want it as clean as possible. And even if you scratch it, the rubber glue that you're putting on is still going to stick there. So that's what I'm going to do right here, is just kind of go around the subwoofer and just scrape off any pieces that didn't come off already. Alright, there you go. That is a completely cleaned edge, and I'll show you guys this a little bit closer once I get further to the end. I'm going to start working on the spider. And don't worry about getting all of the just like dirt off it, because you will be cleaning this very thoroughly with some sort of acetone or rubbing alcohol or something before reconing. So now I'm going to start working on the spider. Now these spiders are glued in with CA glue, so it's a little bit different. And basically what you have to do is you just have to get in here. Let me get you guys that better angle so you can see this. So what you have to do is you have to get in here between some of these spider layings, and you just have to break the spider, break this thing free, which can be very difficult sometimes. There you go. The best way to do it is to kind of get right down in the crack where the CA glue is, and you just want to hammer into that section. And then just pry. Basically the whole thing will lift up, or most of it at least. Just work your way all the way around it. There you go. So there's one piece. And you're gonna have all of these spiders left down here. Sometimes pulling them like that will loosen some of the leftover. But you have a secondary landing there, and you gotta find somewhere that you can get in and underneath them. Kind of like that. Alright, so right there where we got most of it off, and I'll take camera off and show this quickly. So here's the surround landing, as you can see. Very clean all the way around. There's a couple spots here and there, like right there where there's a little bit of glue left on it, and right there. But it's mostly clean, and that's clean enough after rubbing alcohol. Rubber glue doesn't have a whole ton of holding properties, so it's really just there to hold it kind of in place. There's not a ton of force happens on there, because really if you're flexing out that much of the subwoofer, then you're pushing the X-mech anyways. And here is the surround after what I've done. So now we're going to move on to grinding some of that stuff off. There's all the surround sitting there in the pile. But now I'm going to move it on grinding stuff off. You can see how much stuff that collected that could have ended up in the gap. And that's why you want to tape it over. It's right there because of that stuff. So I'm going to go on and we're going to start grinding this down. Alright, so we're going to start grinding this down. I've got a Dremel here. It's the Dremel 4000 model. I just got a grinding bit as well, and I have an extra one that's a little bit flatter, just in case I need to use that. Get in here nice and tight on the edges. So we've got this. Set it decently fast, around 2000, because CA glue is pretty hard, but it's not too hard, especially when it comes to a grinder. It's meant for metal. Make sure to have on eye protection for this as well. You really should probably have it on for pulling that off too, because it pops a lot. But you're just going to go around and you're going to grind down all these pieces that still have anything on there. Anything that's over the edge, like right here and right over here, you don't need to worry about too much. You can clean it up if you just want it to look better. But the only part that you really need ground down is this entire spider landing here. So I'm gonna start working on that, and I'll pick you guys up either when I'm done or when I'm really close to done. You can actually see here where CA glue picked off the paint of the spider landing. Alright, so I just got done cleaning that up. Now I'm going to show you. Oh, I hit a button. I don't think I did anything. But, so you can see, I'm mostly ground down. Now I'm just going to take the vacuum up all around here, and then I will show you guys the finished product. And then I'm also going to wipe down the whole area that I cleaned, both areas, with acetone. And yeah, so you'll see that, and we'll get to the end of this video. Alright guys, so there you go. There's my video on how to prepare a subwoofer for a Recone. I'm still not getting my Recone for a little while, but that's how you prepare a subwoofer to receive a Recone. You're going to want to give it a final acetone bath before you actually mount the Recone, or acetone wipe down before you mount the Recone. And you see there, you don't have to get everything off spider landing, just enough so that there's a solid surface contact. Any black spots you saw were actually just paint, which that powder coat paint that's on the basket is designed to be able to hold CA glue on there, so you don't have to worry too much about getting the paint off. But you want to get down to whatever was there when the manufacturer put it together, and the paint was there when DC put it together, so I'm fine with paint being there, but all the CA glue and all the spiders are off. Again, please, also, final warning, do not do any of this inside an enclosed area. You want to do this somewhere. I was doing inside enclosed area, but I had the proper precautions already to be able to ventilate the area properly. That dust and everything from there, CA glue, all that stuff, it burns up when you start grinding it off, and I'm sure you saw in there it produces weird yellow smoke. But you do not want to be breathing that in, you don't want to get in your eyes, so please take the proper precautions. Wear a breathing respirator and wear safety glasses when doing this stuff. Seriously, it's not good for you at all. So that's how you properly prepare a Recone. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.